Another closure here in the GTA to report about. All right, this story, the entire trucking industry here in Canada is talking about it right now. A trucking company out of Brampton, Ontario, Lion Force Transport, has officially been pushed into receivership after the courts rejected their attempt to restructure the business. And honestly, this situation tells you everything about how brutal the trucking market has become. Now, for people that don't understand what receivership means, basically, the courts are stepping in and handing control of the company over to a third party because the company can no longer manage its debts and financial obligations. According to the court documents, the judge said Lion Force came to court too late. And the issues were extremely serious. We're talking about unpaid drivers, unpaid carriers, insurance problems, fuel supply arrears, over $500,000 in unpaid property taxes, and over $600,000 tied to WSIB garnishments. Let me go into detail. All right, Lion Force Transportation, let's look at their carrier profile. So it says here that they have 227 power units and 300 drivers as per their FMCSA. Now, the articles that I'm reading says that they used to have about 200 power units and they've recently decreased their fleet size to about 100 power units. Now, the company reportedly owed RBC around $53 million. Oof. That's a lot of money. Now, here's the crazy part. Lion Force wasn't some tiny operation. They invested heavily into growth, huge terminals, equipment, facilities, security upgrades, fuel infrastructure. But this is the danger in trucking when companies grow aggressively during hot markets. Because when freight slows down, rates collapse, insurance skyrockets, fuel stays expensive, and financing costs explode. Suddenly, those monthly payments become impossible to maintain, especially when you're decreasing your fleet size and those gross earnings are not coming in. And this isn't just a Lion Force problem. This is happening across North America right now. For the last couple of years, trucking companies expanded fast, thinking the COVID freight boom would last forever. Many companies took on massive debts, new trucks, new trailers, new buildings. And over the past 2 years, the market completely shifted in the wrong direction. And even though right now it's getting a lot better in our industry, some people just can't come out of it. Now, the 2 years of low freight rates plus high operating costs are exposing companies that were over leveraged. And the scary part, usually when a company reaches receiverships, there are already months, sometimes years of financial pressure happening behind the scenes. Drivers feel it first: late payments, payroll issues, fuel cards stop working, repairs get delayed, then eventually the banks step in. Now, for any of you drivers that are affected by the situation, this is exactly why platforms like Driver Roll are becoming more and more popular these days. Instead of filling out applications everywhere or chasing recruiters on Facebook groups, one professional profile with their experience, endorsements, cross-border eligibility, flatbed or reefer experience, and the type of work they're looking for, and recruiters will reach out to you. There are a lot of companies across Canada and the US that are hiring, and make them compete for you as a driver. Just create your profile on Driver Roll. Now, I'm not creating this video to celebrate another trucking company going under. Nobody wins in situations like this. Drivers lose jobs, vendors lose money, carriers don't get paid. What do I mean by that? So over the last 2 years, I'm sure they have a brokerage license and they sold a ton of freight to other carriers, and those carriers are not going to get paid. But this situation should be a wake-up call to the trucking industry. Growth means nothing if the business isn't profitable. And in trucking, cash flow is king. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think we're going to see more trucking companies collapse in 2026? Or is the market finally starting to recover? I'd love to see some of your comments below.